Welcome, Capricorn. This is your weekly focus for March the 11th through to the 17th, 2019. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. And let's turn right to the cards and see what they have to say to us about the week ahead and how to maneuver through it with the success. Three of Pentacles. Okay. Get down to the nitty-gritty. Get the things done that you need to get done. Seriously, get the things done that you need to get done. Focus on your tomorrow. Build that dream. One little baby step at a time. Do the work that you need to do, regardless if anybody's watching. Somebody is, though. Chances are somebody is, especially if it's in the workplace and you think you're giving all this extra time or working on this extra project and nobody's even paying attention. They are paying attention, so keep at it. Keep working with a patience, with a perseverance, with a discipline. We have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is right in the middle. Watch the way you state things this week, okay? If you watched my Monday daily focus, it was about taking a step back, counting to 10. So it is important, very important, that we take the step back. That we don't just say what we're thinking, but we rehearse it. We develop our words to the proper outcome. We don't miss things. I think your voice is strong this week, but if you just kind of shoot from the hip kind of thing, it's not going to go as well for you. And remember, the patience, perseverance, the discipline here, the baby steps, doing the mundane. Okay, if you force the hand, you may force people away that otherwise will be by your side to help you going forward, people that you may need. You could be standing very strongly for who you are. And this could come into play of having a difference of opinion in what you find fun, relaxing, romantic, creative. Maybe somebody's trying to stifle your self-expression in some way. And chances are what you say is right, what you say is strong, what you say is true, but I think it's the delivery that we have to watch for, especially with Mercury being retrograde. Now, your words could come out wrong if you just decide to have that conversation because you saw them. The signs differ, so we'll see what the last card is. But it could be that you don't say anything this week to them, or it could be that by the end of the week you have gotten together exactly what you want to say and why you want to say it, the tone behind it, and how you want the relationship to go forward, whether it is at work or within the community or within the home. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, I'm really seeing it. I usually say it as worry and concern, and that's really what the card stands for. But I'm seeing it more of, we miss the little steps. We're trying to take those really big, long strides, and that won't compliment us. Remember, we started with the Three of Pentacles on top of it, okay? So you're kind of getting a double whammy to slow it down, look at the mundane details, go over things, review them, so that you're not missing parts, that you're not missing information or things to do in order to have something completed in your life, reaching a goal. So all the little details, you're putting your resume out there, run it through spell check. Get somebody else to look at it. See if you're missing something. Review. If you're making a plan to start a new business, think of break it down into the daily life in that business and what you need and what tools you need and what things you need to address. Once again, a little bit of extra research goes a long way in helping you in the long run, wasting time down the road when you could be just moving fast forward. For work, career, what you do within the community, your stature in the community, we have the Judgment card. You're making some strong decisions, I think, about work, about career, about what you want to really do going forward, what you want to step into. And this is a very strong card. This, we're going to pair it with the Nine of Swords. So I'm going to have to read it the same way, where you were giving attention to detail. There's an opportunity to do it now and going forward. And so that shouldn't stop. But where you've done it in the past really pays off in maybe a promotion or opportunity, or being asked to be part of something within the community or an organization. And I don't worry too much about you guys with the attention to detail, and usually that's not even highlighted in readings for you guys, because you already kind of have that naturally for the most part, the majority of you, but for some reason it's being highlighted. So maybe the energy kind of pulls you more into, you know what, I'm just going to go out and enjoy myself and be happy, and I'm not going to worry about that, and I'm going to move it to the back burner. And this isn't a week where I think you necessarily, some things we can always move to the back burner, and we should move to the back burner, that they'll work out by themselves. They don't need our attention or focus. But there's other things that we need to get off of our plate in some way, to clear the energy so that we can invite new energy in, allow new energy and new life experiences in, through tying up the loose ends, taking care of the small details, or looking at the small details that you really need to have in order to take that step forward. There is some kind of decision being made, or it could come back as some kind of a success or achievement or recognition. And that could come in the way of just simple words. It could come in the way of a promotion. It could come in the way of being invited in to help in a certain way or aid in a certain way. It could come with more money coming in. For love and relationships, we got the Five of Cups for love and relationships. Well, we could have some hiccups when it comes to our relationships this week. We could be looking at the negative more than the positive. And I'm going to lay it down with the Three of Pentacles. So when I lay it down with the Three of Pentacles, that is talking about attention to details once again, and doing the small stuff. So where have you been pulling away in the relationship, perhaps? Or where have you been allowing somebody else to not give as much as they can within the relationship, where you need to have that conversation? Once again, Mercury retrograde, we're going to think through our words, but I think your voice is strong right now. We'll see what the last card is in order to really make that determination for sure, because it's kind of been going back and forth depending on what sign. Maybe it's more in your moon or your rising, perhaps your sun, if this is one of those. This is focusing on the negative. This is focusing on the things that go wrong, that don't work out, that don't come together, where you don't have the support, or you don't have the empathy that you are looking for, or the love, or the trust. And looking at those things. Now, we have the two goblets behind us standing straight up, ready to be filled. So we can have any kind of joy within that relationship. And when I talk about love relationships, love and relationships, I mean the people you love. So it could be a best friend. It could be somebody within the community or the workplace. It could be somebody within the family, a parent, a child, a lover, a partner. Think about the people you love and where you're seeing the negative within that relationship. And is it just your perspective, or is it really like that? And is it something that you need to start working on? So it could be where you have not been giving the full attention in a relationship and you need to kind of turn it back and give a little bit of focus to that relationship. It could be where you're not seeing the beauty within the relationship. The reason why you're in the relationship with that person. And yes, relationships take work one day at a time. Now, if you're looking for a relationship, these really aren't cards that say that a new relationship will come to you this week. But I believe firmly in my heart that love is a magic, a vibration all of its own, and love can happen anywhere at any time. So I'm just saying it's probably not in the cards, but when it comes to love, I think it has a magic of its own. It doesn't have to announce itself coming in. So it's more of maybe it's getting all those little things done so that you can really invest yourself within the relationship and having the time or the energy or the finances to really step into a relationship and feeling secure within that relationship. So maybe there's things that you need to get out of the way. That would probably be a better focus for you this week than going out there and doing the meet and greet. If you're in the beginning stages of the relationship, I think this is where you have to start paying attention to the needs, the wants. This is also the time where you may see something that, wow, I didn't know that about them. I don't know if I really like this person anymore because I definitely didn't know about that. And whether or not it still fits for you and coming to some decisions. I mean, it could be the other way where they do something like, wow, nobody's ever done that for me before, and I think I'm going to cry now. Where did this person come from? They're perfect, you know. So it could be more of wanting to make the commitment that way. Don't do any grand gestures. It's the little things that matter. It's the little making time for them, listening to them, empathy, having an empathy for what they're going through, learning who they are a little bit better, trying to find the positives of who they are rather than tearing out the negatives that you don't like. Let's see what that final card is for us. Oh, Temperance. So by the weekend, I think if you know your voice is strong this week, and I see where there might need to be conversations happening in your life. So it's better to use the week to really think it through, and by the weekend, maybe you have it so that you can actually have that conversation and use your voice to move yourself into a happiness, into a joy, into the creativity that you want to experience or to allow an expansion of your self-expression, to step into joy, passion. So Temperance, I'm going to lay Temperance down with the Five of Swords. So I'm going to tell you that you, even though your voice is strong, you've got two ears and one mouth. Use them accordingly. Okay, this is definitely a week for you to count to 10 before you say anything, before you perform any action, although I think it's more of the words, but it could be action here. I think it's more of your intellect and your words, and you know, maybe you get to be, maybe you're being too bossy or too demanding or too opinionated or too, or this could be happening to you too, by the way, okay? This is energy that could be coming your way. With Temperance, less is better. So right away I thought, well, if, when it comes to our words, then less is better. So it's not about making that grandstand speech or anything. It's about using as few words as possible to really allow the person to know how you feel. And listening to the replies. You know, the Nine of Swords here, when I think of temperance and, following it as the Judgment card. So, I kind of said it's looking at all the little details, but it's maybe looking at all the details that we have in front of us and wondering which ones are really necessary to have, or which ones are overdoing it, which ones we need to put more emphasis on. It's finding, I see temperance almost like the witch's cauldron, and we're making this potion in order for things to come together in our life, in order to bring in a balance and a happiness and a peace. And it's like we're looking at the proper recipe in order to go forward. So definitely, it's a beautiful week to um, your thoughts, your thinking. Tap into that powerful intellect of yours. But also, there is this intuition, this strong intuition, because we have judgment and temperance here. Two strong cards telling you that it is a lot to do with your intuition, with your gut feelings. A lot of your decision making will be what feels right. The only problem with listening to your intuition is if you're looking at more negative than you are trying to steer your thoughts to the positive, less and less and less is going to feel right, and you're going to get very restless, and you're going to do or say something that is going to uh, send people running for the house, avoiding you, not wanting to help you, not seeing it your way. And under normal circumstances, they would. So, with Mercury retrograde there, chances are they're not going to hear you properly, or you're going to use the wrong words if you just blurt it out. So towards the weekend, I think your mind, your reflexes of your mind are working a lot better by the end of the weekend. Okay, and so you. And I think we're feeling a little bit more driven by the end of the weekend to succeed in some way. Temperance is probably the most calming card here of the week. So I would have to say a lot of your week is going to be filled with emotions and restlessness and different decisions that you're looking at. I think can be a very productive week for you because we started with the Three of Pentacles. So look at the little things that you can do day by day, step by step, in order to step into your tomorrow. And it's not like you wake up and you see that you've actually come a fair distance just by concentrating on that daily task of whatever it is. Um, Relationships. It's all about the hard work within relationships this week for you, as far as I can see. Look once again at the positive instead of the negative. Concentrate on the positive. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.